positive fashion. Having drawn against QPR 3 days later, Chelsea faced a tougher London derby against Spurs. Not only were they were away without their loyal supporters because no tickets were available for their fans who were so much part of the team. A possible setback for Chelsea, but not for one Blues player who was looking for his 150th goal for them. Kerry Dixon. One more strike would have put him alongside the likes of historical Blues heroes Bentley and Osgood.
Allen. Here's Stewart. Gary Stevens wearing 3 but playing it right back. David Howells arriving from midfield and giving Besant his first test of the afternoon. Mabbott. Stevens taking over. Gascoigne. The pass wasn't on to Lineker, but it was to Howells. And he in turn was looking for a fairly straightforward ball to Paul Allen, but gave his intentions away. Hazard. Is it measured for Dixon? It was, and it was another good opening. And this is the way that Chelsea really should be taking a firmer grip on this game, because Mickey Hazard is making the bullets for Dixon to fire.
There could be very little doubt that Chelsea's hit men were keen to get into this shooting match. Not only was Hazard's holster itching for action, he had the whole of the Blues posse to back him all the way.
There might be another one here if Dixon can guide it down. He was looking for Dickens. And it's a rather tentative Tottenham at the moment. Roberts. Dixon is there first, and Kerry Dixon has got the goal this time. Torsvet came and then stopped, thinking he couldn't get to the ball. Dixon stuck out a foot, and his persistence pays off because he looped it high over Eric Torsvet and it dropped over the line into the back of the net. Chelsea have a deserved lead.
A lead of 1-0, but that was just the beginning of this North London derby. Chelsea were back. Now they and new manager Bobby Campbell wanted all of the other London clubs to know about it.
Dixon. Kevin Wilson! Didn't quite get there because Mabbott beat him to it. And Chelsea really don't want this first half to end. One goal, of course, not enough for security. And really, you couldn't complain as a Tottenham follower if they got a second here. Chelsea are running the show at the moment. Dixon glanced it on, and it's tucked away by Kevin Wilson this time. Chelsea in control at White Hart Lane. Nicholas with the corner. Dixon first to it. The supplier this time. And Kevin Wilson rounded it all off. And the Spurs fans chorusing, what a load of rubbish at their team.
Not so much rubbish, but outclassed by Chelsea. Spurs weren't crowing, but clucking for the rest of the first half. At the start of the second, they looked a little more positive.
The corner's played short. Gascoigne. Still Gascoigne. That's brilliantly done. Wilson, can Chelsea break out here? Howell stops them. Fennick. Spurs having more of the ball at the moment, but not really putting it to good use. It's impossible, really, for a team to attack for the full 90 minutes. And certainly when you're the away side, it's even more difficult. But Chelsea's strengths have kept Gascoigne really on the periphery of the match. Gascoigne again. Walsh. Well, that's what Tottenham need. Someone to try the difficult thing and hope it might come off, and it has for Gascoigne.
Tottenham had got one back. The celebrations only served to antagonise Chelsea. But finding themselves severely shackled, they knew they must wait patiently for a Spurs mistake before pouncing.
Van den Hauwe. Allen. 3 in the centre for Tottenham. Van den Hauwe kept it in well. Now Gascoigne. Thomas has made a dart forward from left back. Gascoigne finds him. Hazard trying to hold him up, and in fact seemed to scrape the ball with a hand then. Didn't look intentional. Thomas was concentrating on trying to make progress, and I don't think saw it. Well, Mitchell Thomas trying to rebuild his career at White Hart Lane and going the right way about it. He's been very involved. And Roberts and company at the back for Chelsea having a much more difficult second half. He's the general. And it's Steve Clarke through the centre from Kevin Wilson's flick. And Chelsea have hit back in the best possible way. Spurs deflated. And Clarke came through unattended. And Torsvedt was left exposed and could do nothing about it. With 21 minutes left, Chelsea, from their point of view, restore some order. Spurs 1, Chelsea 3. Robson.
But it wasn't just order that had been restored by Chelsea. The Stamford Lion began to roar for blood in order to give their fans a little more than a victory to read about in the papers the next day. They were now more determined than ever to humiliate their derby rivals with a thrashing they would never forget.
Dixon, wide towards Hazard, but a little behind him. Bumstead got the run of the ball against Fenwick. Hazard, Kevin Wilson, and it's 4! Disbelief at White Hart Lane for Tottenham supporters. Cheer for Chelsea. Hazard, after Bumstead had done well, cut it back superbly, and Kevin Wilson's finish was unstoppable right into the bottom corner. 14 minutes left, and the scoreline a source of embarrassment to Tottenham. They're 4-1 adrift at home.
More than an embarrassment for Terry Venables and the home side, Spurs supporters voting with their feet at their side's abysmal performance, knowing full well that there was no way to tame the Lion in the remaining minutes of the game. Tottenham had underestimated Chelsea and paid dearly for their complacency. Spurs' last chance at goal was more conciliatory than threatening. In the end, too little, too late in this London derby. 4-1 to Chelsea.